Hello everyone, I'm Neetsel and this is Tintin, Prisoners of the Sun. This is a Super Nintendo game. I'll be playing on the hard difficulty, so right now I'm doing restream at the same time, so it's kind of confusing trying to follow everything. So if there are any issues with the audio or something like that, just let me know and I'll try to make things work properly. So the timer will be off because I'll start the game and all of this in parallel. What else to say? So yeah, the difficulty, what it changes is that I have less time to complete levels, which can be an issue, and even when you're doing a speed run, and also there are way more obstacles in the way, so that's definitely a bit of an issue. And for marathon it's not completely safe, but actually nobody speedrun this game on normal or easy. There's only 4 of us and everyone does it on difficult because it's more fun. So right away, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. So the timer is a bit early, but that's because of the delay. Alright, so this first stage, so we're going to reuse a mechanic that is also in Tintin in Tibet, because this game is a follow-up to Tintin in Tibet, and it's the fact that I can move from the foreground to the background. So these little girls can murder me because it's a Tintin game, so the most basic thing will murder you. Actually, I can damage boost through this guy. And then we're going to enter the first room that I really don't like in this game. It's a dark room. I need to look. There are a few signs that tells me where I can land. If I mess up, it's not too bad. And that went perfectly, so I managed to keep a little bit of health, so we're going to be able to do some damage boost later on. Alright, so right here I have to hide in the background a little. So the way this game is structured is that in most levels you will have different objectives. A lot of the stages are built like mazes. The game is really bad at explaining what it wants you to do. Actually, I can damage boost through this guy, since I did the earlier room quite well. So yeah, the stages are built like mazes, and they can be quite annoying to navigate, especially on if you're playing casually, because, well, you have a timer, and it means that you can time out quite easily when you don't know where you're supposed to go. Alright, this stage, this fireball is a bit RNG, and based on its position, different traps will trigger. So hopefully I get good RNG. That's not great at all. Hopefully I don't die. Whoa. Help! Okay, this is terrible. I'm going to duck a little bit. And yeah, we recovered right there. So the carpet can actually make me fall. So that's why I have to jump over this bit, because it's Tintin. So of course it's going to stumble on the carpet. So right here, also another bit of RNG. That's terrible, but we... Okay, that's the worst pattern. When it comes right in the middle like that, you have to react, and it's really annoying. Oops. So third stage, this one is kind of weird because he has a special mechanic with Captain Haddock. So as you'll see, I can take control of Captain Haddock during a short period. I'm really not sure what you're supposed to do with him, because I'm going to get shot at, and the idea is that Captain Haddock can cover you, but you can't move away from him. So I just wait every bullet so that I can keep running again. Otherwise you have to move with him along, and it's super slow. So this section is a bit tricky because, well, here we go. So it's tricky because you don't actually have time to react to the visual of the bullets. You have to rely on the audio. Alright, so let's do this again. So you may have noticed, but now there's a climbing mechanic in this game compared to Tintin in Tibet. Here we go. And there's also fall damage, because that was way too easy before without that. Alright, so I'm going to focus a little bit just to make sure that I get through this section properly this time. So you jump over this branch, then right here it's a bit late. We need to pick up this stick for later on. Now it's a jump right away. This one is a little bit late and I messed up, but that's alright. Okay, so I'm going to collect a life, and the great thing about lives in the game is that they give you all your health back. Here we go, and we are getting rid of that guy. So now I'm picking up my notes because this is an auto-scroller and it's super fast, and also you don't have any actual way to tell in which direction you're supposed to go, so you have to memorize all of this. Compared to the previous world record, we realized that you can actually speed up this section by pressing X, and yeah, that's kind of dull that I mean, most of the runners of this game, well, myself included for a long time, we didn't realize that you could actually speed up this section. But I mean, looking at it that way, I mean, come on, I was behind that truck. That's nonsense. Okay, then it's left, and it's going to be to the right twice. So you can't rely on the colors of the vehicles. It's just you just have to figure out where you're supposed to hide. There we go. Then it's left, and it's going to be right and left until the end. Not the best, but at least we made it through. Alright, so I'm not going to damage boost here since I already took a little bit of damage. So the way the health system works is that you only regain life in between levels if you only have one health point left. So even though this game is full of auto-scroller, we need to play them properly just to make sure that we keep our health high and we are able to do damage boost later on. Another stage with multiple objectives. So right here there's this crane that's broken and you have to talk to this guy and then go collect the wrench and bring it back to open the path. So little bit of RNG here. Okay, it's good enough. I can get through. So something also that makes this game pretty awful to play is the physics of the game, because it feels like you're on ice constantly. And I'm going to show like the way. So right now I'm going to end up in an auto-scroller section. If the screen catches up with me, I'll die. But the way it works is kind of broken. So that's a speed strut that I managed to do to get across this. I'm going to damage boost right here. And so, yeah, right here, this is really dumb. So this guy is in the way, so I can't get across. And if I stop moving, the screen will catch up with me. But if I move from the foreground to the background just like this, well, everything is fine. So that's actually what you're supposed to do casually. So move like that just to exploit the system of the game. It's really, really dumb. Okay, this stage, it's kind of a stealth section in a way, because some of these characters, if they touch you, you die instantly, they capture you and that's it. So I guess it kind of we kind of consider it a stealth section. So the guys in red, I can damage boost through them, but this guy I can't. So you have to avoid them, even though if you're at full health, you have to avoid them. Another dark section, but this one is very easy. You just... Plus, I mean, you can see quite well in this one. Okay, here we go. Here I'm picking up this whiskey bottle, again a mechanic that the game doesn't explain, and we'll use that to distract a guard. Picking up this knife to regain health, a quick damage boost. Something that's nice about this game with the life system is that unlike Tintin in Tibet, if I die, the life respawn. So I throw the bottle to get this guy to move and be able to make it through. And then we're just going to run towards the exit of the stage. We should be fine avoiding this guy just to keep my health, because this is a marathon and one of the next stages is really difficult, so it's a high reset point of the game, so I'm going to do a few damage boosts. Here we go! So this is one of the easiest stage, even casually. It's pretty simple. I'm getting shot at. When I see the light on the left side of the boat, I'll just move a little bit to the left and that's it. So yeah, story-wise, what's happening in this game? So it's based on a Belgian comic book of the same name, and the story is that some archaeologists stole an artifact in Peru, and they all got cursed, and our friend Professor Calculus got kidnapped, and we are trying to rescue them. So next stage is going to be really annoying. It has the worst enemy in the game, which is just a piece of luggage. So it's always the same pattern, so there's really no... Compared to Tintin in Tibet, this game has barely any RNG. The only RNG is mostly in stage 2, and I think that's it. Okay, we're through. Alright, so like I said, this stage, pretty terrible. This piece of luggage just keeps going left and right, so I have to avoid it. I mean, Tintin could just tie it down or just throw it out of the wagon, but no. You'll just keep on avoiding it like that. Also, so I'm collecting clocks in this stage, and if I miss one of them, it's timeout instantly. So something that's tricky with this section is that you can actually overshoot your jump and jump off the wagon, so you need to be close enough to the edge to catch the clock, but you might actually just miss it. Okay. To the left, and then the final section, which is the trickiest one, I'm just going to do a bunch of damage boost. Okay, so first damage boost right here, because I don't like that jump. Second one, and this final one is really awful. So when you go for a PB, of course you try to avoid it, because again, keeping your health is pretty important to be able to damage boost in the next level. But yeah, for a marathon, I mean, I'm not going to risk it. So the village, I really like this stage. Again, it's another maze. The main reason that I like this stage is mostly the music. So we need to go to the left here. I'm going to do a first damage boost. Jump over this dog. Okay, we made it. And usually I would do a damage boost here, but yeah. you don't lose that much time doing this. And here we have a life that can that gives us all our health back, which is great. Coming up is an awful jump. If I miss it, I will time out. So hopefully I don't miss it. All right, so and we're through. So thanks for that. Now we have this combat, which is really weird because the only thing that we can do is avoid the attacks. There's two ways to avoid it, but actually there's only one that you must do. What's weird is that you have to avoid actually before the attack starts, so it's super confusing. The timing is really weird with this. Come on, come back over here. Thank you. And I think that's it. Here we go. So yeah, the timing for that is just super weird. Okay, this stage is one of the two stages that I hate the most in this game. The enemies will kill me instantly if they touch me, and you have a lot of fall damage. So these guys, they patrol the area, and when you're when you're on the same level as them, they will move towards you instantly. So I'm going to do a safe strat right here, something that you would probably do casually, and is to wait, make this rock drop, and be able like that to have time to climb. In a PB, you would go for like the fast strat, which allows you to jump over the guy, but it's super precise, so I'm not going for that in a marathon. That final section also really tricky, but unfortunately there's no other way to do it. There's no actual safe strat. You have to do the same in a casual one. This stage starts off, we just kill ourselves, and then I can take a break a little bit, because dying sets a specific pattern on the condor, and even though I'm going to take damage, I'll only have to do one input at the end to get through. This stage is kind of weird to explain how it controls. The idea is that by pressing left or right, you're going to change the direction of the condor, and every time it changes direction or that you press an input, it's going to gain a little bit of height. But it's super confusing and frustrating to control. Okay, so I'm going to press left right there just to make it go in the air a little bit. Collect that health, collect this other one, and then we'll drop to the ground. If you drop to the ground too early, Tintin dies, even though he plays the animation properly. And another auto-scroller, again. They really put a lot of effort in this game in following the books, so we have a lot of really exclusive mechanics. There's really no two levels that look alike, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Again, I have to be really careful in this stage not to lose health, because I want to be able to do some of the damage boost that we'll have later on. And even in the marathon, in this case, it's pretty important, because the stage in which I'll do damage boost, well, the timer is really tight. So right now I should have some snowballs starting to come at me. Here we go. There's a glitch as well in the stage where for some reason Tintin can't go back to the left side at all, so you're just stuck in the middle. It's really weird. Okay. This stage is super long and I took some damage, so that's not great. The collisions are, as well, again, a bit awful, because the rocks will hit you before they actually reach you. It's like the top of the rock is already the collision, so... And we're through. And now we have an escort mission. So Zorino can't get through these obstacles, so you have to clear the path for him. And almost every obstacle is unique, and some of them doesn't make sense. Like, why is it easier for him to get across if I push this over there? I really don't know. Doesn't look like it's easier now. So this section I have to use this animal to break the log. Okay, pushed him to the side, jumping over it. This branch is a bit buggy, so I could fall through the ground. So yeah, they really did put a lot of efforts to do unique stuff constantly, even within a single level. Most of the time that you save is actually towards the end of the level in this stage, because in some places you just have to wait for Zorino. Wait, so... This one, unlike the one before, you can break it yourself. This one you need 2 characters to break it. Here we go. So again, it can be really frustrating figuring out all of this casually, because, well, everything feels different. And the worst is this part. So I have to do this 3 times for the branch to break. Here we go. And then this branch. So there's actually 2 ways to put it down. You can put it down by pressing down, which feels really natural. It's simple. The thing is that on my way back, if I do this, the log will fall through the ground. So I have to throw it here. I lost so many runs to this because early on I couldn't understand. There's like a pixel perfect position where you can actually drop it. But yeah, it doesn't work every time. And in other places you can't throw the log, you have to put it down. It's super annoying. Okay, boss fight. So I pick up this rock, throw it at the snake, and if I get the right rhythm and good positioning, I can stun it just like this constantly. So yeah, for some reason I messed up. Yeah, again, position to pick up objects is really annoying. Here we go, and we got it! That's awesome. And we're full life. You can actually use that branch to fight the snake. It does like a melee attack, but the collisions are so bad I never could figure out a way to use that in the run. Because keeping your health is really more important in some places. This level, easiest level in all of the Tintin's game. There's really not much to it. It's so slow, you have time to react to everything. And also you can push some objects and enemies out of the way. Like, you have 2 attack, just like that. The main strat for this level is actually just to reduce lag. In some places the crocodile will make the game slow down and you can just get rid of them. Like this one slows down the game, so it's better to knock it out. Tintin is kind of lazy in this level, in my opinion. He barely does anything. And also another thing that I'll do to speed up the level right at the end of the level, is that the trigger, you can actually hit the trigger early if you go to the right side of the screen. Okay, so we're almost through. There's like 2 crocodiles left, and that will be the end of it. Here we go, and we go all the way to the right, and we hit the trigger before the end of the animation. Here we go. Okay, now this is officially the worst stage in the game. If you look at the timer, you'll see that it depletes at an insane speed. It's super fast. I have to damage boost through most things in this level. And the final jump of this stage is, yeah, it's not pixel perfect, but almost. Whoa, so I need to trigger this and jump away so that I can damage boost through this little rock right there. You probably don't see it. Like this one, yeah, will fall on top of me. This is the halfway point of the level, so at least they are nice enough to give you time back. Actually, you have to collect this rope. Nothing tells you to do that. Alright, and this is the final section with that really tricky jump that makes me a bit nervous. And we're through. So the animation actually starts at the rock, but if you jump towards the tree, well, you skip a little bit of that. The timer keeps running during this animation, so you can actually time out during this. If I had missed that final jump, I would not have enough time to come back. I would time out during that section. Alright, another maze. What a surprise. This time it's in a cave. And you'll see the path. So this is not a speedrun strategy. That's the actual path that you're supposed to take. And yeah, it's so difficult to figure out what you're supposed to do in this stage. Like, you have to drop here, okay? Then you have to duck under here, and actually you can climb on top of this section. If I had went to the right, there's actually a hole right there. Like, they tease you with a life, and actually that's a trap. Okay, almost through with this stage. Okay, I didn't mess up this jump. Like, you could see on the landing how much Tintin slide, and that's really annoying to deal with. Like, oh, need to move to the foreground, and like right there, you would think that's the exit. No, the exit is this. Alright, so originally this was the final stage in the game, but they thought that it was not really exciting to end up the game on a puzzle. So they added a stage that you'll see later on. In the story, that's kind of the point where Tintin solves this problem. So he gets captured and is going to be executed, and he asks... So he reads in a newspaper that there's going to be a solar eclipse, so he asks for his execution to be on that day. And then he makes everyone believe that he controls the sun, and that he will only free the sun if they free him. And that's it. So, in addition to that puzzle, we have this stage that doesn't make much sense in the story, because it's Tintin and Haddock running towards the execution, and yeah, people trying to stop them, which is, I guess they would imagine I'm trying to escape, but yeah, that's not part of the story, so just a bit weird. Okay, well, actually I need to be careful about my health. Oh no, that's pretty bad, because I need to damage boost at the end, because that final section is completely awful. Okay, we should be fine. Okay, and here we go. If you're too far to the right when that final animation plays out of Tintin running, well, Tintin runs off the screen and you die. So Yeah, that's the way they ended the story. And from what I've read, apparently they would sacrifice them even more in that case, just to appease the son. But I'm not an expert, and that's time. Sorry. So I hope you enjoyed the run. This is, I mean, it's a Tintin game, so it's really hard, but I think it's really a great adaptation of the books. And yeah, if you have the opportunity, give it a try, because I mean, it's kind of crazy how bad it controls and how difficult it is. This game is not as well known as Tintin in Tibet, probably because Tintin in Tibet sold well, but this one sold really poorly. Probably because people had enough with Tintin in Tibet. And that's it for me for this run. I'll be back later on for Lion King. And I think it's Linkmeister who's next. So, going back, see you later. See ya.